let's dive in a little bit to that idea of SaaS. For maybe somebody who's just new to that space, what does SaaS mean, and maybe what does it mean to you? What is so unique or novel about that space as opposed to maybe a more traditional business model?
For sure. So SaaS stands for software as a service. So you're essentially selling out the software that you build as a service to someone else. So there's two different types that I classify them into. You have business to business SaaS, which is what Exonify does, which is where I've spent my career. And then there's also the business to consumer side, which I think people are more familiar with. So something like Spotify, when you're listening to music, that's considered a SaaS company. Something even like Netflix would be considered a SaaS company because they're selling that software to you as a service. For me, I think it's unique. And one of the reasons that I like SaaS is because SaaS values non-GAAP metrics just as much as GAAP metrics. There's this idea that tracking these metrics that are specific to SaaS companies, they're very valuable. They're what these private equity firms and venture capitalists base their valuations off of for these companies. So, I think when we look at traditional companies, it's all about figuring out these GAAP metrics and how do we compare GAAP metrics across different companies. There is that element in SaaS companies, and we're seeing it more and more as pressures become tighter to meet targets. But there's that element of being able to come up with your own metrics that mean something to you as a business based on how your business is created. So the biggest one that we track in the SaaS business is annual recurring revenue. So the idea in the SaaS world that recurring revenue is huge to you. So if we take a business that just sells widgets, let's say some physical object, you might sell one of that to one customer. There's no guarantee they ever come back. They might be a one-time customer. SaaS is so focused on creating this recurring revenue stream. And if you think about something like Spotify, if you have premium, that's the idea that you're continuing that subscription over and over and over again, and that it never stops. You're continuing to generate that revenue, hopefully forever. Hopefully that customer never leaves you. So it's that very different way to think about revenue that's not necessarily captured in GAAP revenue metrics, accounting revenue metrics. It really is its own thing, and one of the reasons that I love SaaS.